Shane van Gisbergen just pulled off something that honestly shouldn't have been possible. 25 laps left at Watkins Glen, he pits from the lead, drops all the way to 26, and somehow still wins the race by more than 7 seconds. Not survives, not steals it late, dominates. And now the rest of NASCAR has a serious problem. Because SVG isn't just winning road courses anymore, he's starting to own them. At this point, it's becoming less of a hot streak and more of a warning to the entire garage. Sunday at Watkins Glen felt like a statement race from the moment the final pit cycle started shaking everything up. Chevrolet controlled most of the afternoon, putting 5 cars inside the top 8, but the story quickly became Shane van Gisbergen once again doing things nobody else in the field could match. After giving up track position late, SVG came back onto the track, buried deep in traffic with a massive time deficit. Normally that's game over at a place like Watkins Glen. Dirty air, tire management, fuel strategy, traffic, everything works against you. Instead, he sliced through the field like the race had restarted. 7 laps to go, he retakes the lead. By the checkered flag, he's over 7 seconds ahead. That's not strategy luck, that's pace, that's control. And honestly, it looked effortless. The craziest part, he was doing his burnout while half the field was still trying to finish the race. SVG called the car magic afterward, and honestly, that might be the best description possible. Because what he's doing on road courses right now doesn't even look normal by Cup standards. This win gives him 7 career road course victories in NASCAR's Top Series, tying Chase Elliott for the most among active drivers. And remember, SVG is still relatively new to this level of stock car racing. That's what makes this so important. For years, NASCAR road racing had a clear hierarchy. Veterans with years of experience knew how to manage tire fall-off, braking zones, fuel windows, and late race restarts. But SVG came over from Australia and almost immediately changed the standard. Drivers aren't just trying to beat him anymore, they're trying to survive him, and you could hear that reality in the reactions after the race. Michael McDowell finished second and openly admitted SVG still had another level of speed. McDowell actually needed this result badly after a rough stretch, and second place gave his team momentum again. But even after a strong run, he basically acknowledged the gap still exists. A tenth here, a couple tenths there. At this level, that's enormous. Then there's Zilisch. And honestly, this might have been the emotional turning point of the entire race. The 19-year-old looked like a real threat to challenge late before a right front tire completely destroyed his day. Instead of celebrating a breakout finish, he limps home 20th. That's the brutal side of road course racing. One tire failure erases everything, but even in disappointment, Zilisch's pace mattered, because it showed Trackhouse and Chevrolet may have another serious road course weapon developing behind SVG. Now zoom out for a second, because this race revealed something bigger happening across the garage. Teams are starting to build entire race weekends around one question: how do we beat Shane van Gisbergen on a road course? That changes strategy completely. Fuel calls become more aggressive. Pit timing becomes riskier. Drivers start over, driving corners, trying to match his braking ability. And that's dangerous, because when one driver forces the field outside its comfort zone, mistakes multiply fast. You could actually see that happening throughout the race. Different pit strategies. Fuel gambles everywhere. Drivers hanging onto worn tires longer than they wanted to. Even experienced veterans looked like they were reacting to SVG instead of controlling their own race. That's dominance. And it's not just the front of the field feeling it either. Kyle Busch ran out of fuel at the line and still barely held on to a top 10. AJ Allmendinger talked afterward about tire fall-off becoming brutal after only a dozen laps. Gibbs finished third but sounded frustrated because fuel saving limited what he could actually do late in the race. Everybody was managing something: fuel, tires, balance, strategy, SVG. He looked like he was managing the race itself, and that's where this starts getting scary for the rest of the Cup Series, because historically, NASCAR always evolves to counter dominant trends. When one driver gains an edge, the garage usually catches up eventually, but SVG's advantage feels different. This isn't just setup, this is instinct. Precision, road racing habits built over years at an elite international level. That's much harder to duplicate. Now, the fan reaction after this race is probably going to split into 2 groups. One side is going to love it. They'll say NASCAR finally has a true road course specialist who brings something unique to the sport, a driver who forces everyone else to improve. The other side, they're going to start asking whether road course parity is disappearing completely whenever SVG shows up. Because when one driver becomes this automatic at certain tracks, unpredictability starts fading. And NASCAR thrives on unpredictability. Still, from a media perspective, this is gold for the sport. SVG has become appointment viewing anytime the series turns right and left. Fans expect chaos now because they expect him to charge through the field somehow. And somehow, he keeps delivering. So where does this go next? Best case scenario for NASCAR, the competition rises to meet him. Teams finally close the gap. Young drivers like Zilisch continue developing, and road course races become must-watch battles between elite specialists. That would elevate the entire product. Worst case scenario, SVG keeps widening the gap. Road courses become predictable, and the rest of the field starts racing for second before the green flag even drops. Because honestly, we're getting dangerously close to that conversation already, and that's what makes Watkins Glen feel bigger than just another race result. This wasn't simply a win. It felt like another reminder that Shane van Gisbergen may already be redefining what road course dominance looks like in modern NASCAR. So now, the question becomes simple. Is SVG creating a new golden standard for NASCAR road racing, or is the rest of the garage running out of answers? Drop your thoughts below. And if you want more breakdowns like this every week, make sure you subscribe to SportsWire USA.